Let's look at a strong response by a student to a single source, which is a newspaper report from Paris in July 1789, an eyewitness account of the storming of the Bastille, the beginning of the French Revolution. If you've studied that topic, you'd be familiar with how significant that event is. Here's how the student responds. To the question, how reliable is source C as evidence of what occurred on the 14th of July 1789? If this is all about reliability, we're still expecting the source to be described and then analysed in terms of its reliability. Source C is a newspaper report published in a political newspaper days after the storming of the Bastille in 1789. So we have the origin. The origin is it's a political newspaper. The origin is giving us a notion that it's going to be biased because it comes with a certain political stance. After the storming of the Bastille, days after the storming of the Bastille in 1789, we get an idea that the date is so close to the event that we're getting an eyewitness report. Written for people who agreed with the politics of this particular newspaper to form their opinion about what happened. Right, so people who agreed with these politics, this is the specific audience which gets to the heart of whether this is a reliable source. The language is passionate and aggressive. That the people of Paris penetrated the Bastille where there was frightful despotism. Can you see how the student's using just one or two words to demonstrate the language? That's a great technique. It portrays the people as fighting against great evil. The tone is encouraging. Here we have the tone. The author states that these actions usher in the triumph of justice and liberty. Again, a short and effective quote. The writing is biased. Well, we're starting to pick that up, weren't we? By use of language and tone, portraying the Bastille as a frightful refuge of monstrous despotism. The author is writing from their opinion with a bias against the ancien regime. Clearly, this is opinion. We know that through the bias against the ancien regime. This makes this text unreliable as to the facts. Now we're answering the question. It's not reliable as to facts because it's opinion of what occurred on 14th of July 1789, but a reliable insight into the emotional response of the supporters of the revolution. Right, emotional response, this might get to the idea of the author's ability to know, and it's clearly on the side of the supporters. So we again know that this opinion, this is bias, but it's nonetheless a reliable source into the emotional response of the supporters of the revolution. So this writer has gone into origin, date, and audience, a lot about language and tone, bias and opinion, and we've talked here about ability to know and the supporters of the revolution and their opinions. So it's a very solid response. This is in the sophisticated realm here, and we're looking at perhaps 9 out of 10.